with the AI on the playback, you can find out if I'm looking for a person wearing a red shirt, if I'm looking for a person wearing a yellow shirt, having a hat on, having glasses on, you can find it easily that way. Human body retrieval, and that's the place that I can search the playback based on all those attributes. I'll go ahead and search for it. In a matter of a second, you will have a list of all the objects or human beings. And I'll tell it that not only I'm looking for all the objects, but I want them to be wearing a red shirt. And I want them to have a hat on. Let's see what happens. Search, 1 second, boom, we have it. And then as you can see, it's a male, they're wearing a hat, the color is red, they're wearing long sleeve. Based on all of those, you can search. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining our webinar today. I wanted to take a moment to thank about putting in mind to join to our webinar, although you have a busy schedule with your business. I'm Tommy. I'm with Anabon Security's technical department. Anabon Security is the official distributor of CASE, MileSite, and SmartOS across all North American region. We're talking about all customers, integrators, installers, and distributors in North American region, US and Canada. With us, you don't have to worry about three things. Those would be the amount of warranty that you get on the product, the way of receiving technical support, and the replacement. Because we do have 6 years of warranty, we do have 24/7 technical support on call, and we do have advanced replacement in case that we're having a defect. So you can just give us a call. We can work on it to find out what exactly is happening, and then we can just send you a new unit if we're talking about CASE. In today's webinar, we're not going to have a long time. It's just a short description of the latest technology of AI that we carry on the NVRs that we have. We call it the smart search based on playback, AI on the playback itself. What happens is sometimes when an incident happens, you're going to find out all the footages. You will have to browse to a couple hours worth of footage, find the exact time that the incident happened in order to extract it. That will take a lot of your time. Now, with the AI on the playback, you can find out if I'm looking for a person wearing a red shirt, I'm looking for a person wearing a yellow shirt, having a hat on, having glasses on, you can find it easily that way. We're talking about the story of AI happening on CCTV and pretty much the security industry. So we're talking about continuous recording being the first part of it. It was like at the time of analog cameras, the area of analog. Nothing crazy about it. As you can see, all options you have are a few days in green top right, meaning that you have some recordings, and a blue bar, which is doing continuous recording. You cannot find the parts that something specific happened. You cannot find any type of information about the object or the human being that you're looking for. You just have to browse all the footage to find out the exact thing that you're looking for. Then it became motion detection. That's for sure a better one and easier one because as you can see, we're going to have those red bars indicating the parts that will have some movement happening on the camera. So at least using the motion detection technology when you're taking a look at the playback, it will make it easier for you so that you go for the time that exactly a movement was happened to find the incident. But we're talking about any movement. When we're talking about motion detection, nothing smart is included in the conversation. This is just based on pixel change on the image of the camera itself. That can be leaf shaking, that can be snowy weather, rainy weather, and the camera will pick it up as motion. Now, what's the usage? For sure, if it's like a jewelry store or any else that you're installing the camera, whenever there is no absolute movement, for sure, we don't want to have any type of recording. But as soon as there is a pixel change on the camera, we want to pick it up, we want to record it, we don't want to miss it in the future. Now, to make it a little bit more smarter, we do have AI, which we call it VCA, Video Content Analytics. What happens is you can select an area on the image of the camera itself and make it sensitive to people, cars, or both. Based on different AI rules that you have in the market, we do have human vehicle classification, on duty detection, safety helmet car detection, running, parking, loitering, and missing object detection, even face capture and face recognition. Those are all different AIs that we have uh, included in case cameras, but there's only one thing about it. Even on this one, you have to predict where and when this incident is going to happen. For instance, we're talking about the right side of the image of the camera right now. I have the area selected. I made it sensitive to people and cars. After 2 seconds that I get into the area, we're going to pick them up and we can record based on that one. But what happens if it's the incident on the other side of the camera, on the left-hand side of the camera? We're going to miss that. I mean, we're not going to miss that, but that will be, again, the continuous recording that you have to swipe to find out the exact footage that you're looking for. This recent technology is a couple years out there in the market, but they only have it on VMS softwares and servers. In order to analyze the image of the camera on the playback, you require a huge server having some GPUs and CPUs inside to process the image for you in action. What happens that we have it on the NVR, where basically the NVR is collecting metadata at the same time of recording the image of the camera. Imagine we're talking about a pile of documents in your financial department that you're looking for one specific invoice or one specific customer. If you don't have them categorized, what happens is you have to browse 2,000, 3,000 different documents to find out the exact document that you're seeking. But the thing is, if you do categorize them, say that these documents are related to this customer. These are the 2025 invoices that we have from them. Then when you're trying to find it, that'll be easier. That's the same exact thing that we're referring to when we're saying collecting metadata. So the NVR is recording the image of the camera, but at the same time, in each of the frames, it is storing so much of information, saying that, all right, I see a guy wearing a red shirt in this frame. I see a guy wearing a hat in this frame. The guy that we have in this frame does not wear any kind of glasses. On the right-hand side, as you can see, this is in action at the time of playback. So we do have age, gender, glasses, mask, with hat or not. Are they riding a bike or not? They have a backpack or not? Everything about it. So what happens is the NVR doesn't have to analyze the image again, just like the VMS and servers, because it is already storing the metadata. And then when you want to get in there, you will just search based for it, and it will give you all the information about it. Now, we can talk about it the whole day, but let's take another look at the video that we had in the beginning of the webinar. It's the same thing, explaining the same situation. We're having human beings passing in front of the camera, and based on each of them, we'll have the metadata generated, saying that this guy is tall, they're wearing a black shirt, this girl is wearing a gray shirt, and it's not even limited to shirt. We're talking about any kind of attributes that we have from the object. And this is a pretty much recent technology that we have on the NVR for the first time, and we are trying to extend it in order to have more options to filter based on, so that whenever the cop is waiting for you and you're having a couple of minutes to find the exact footage, we don't waste the time, right? And then we get to the point in a matter of a second. Let's see it in action. One of our customers, as a matter of fact, fortunately, we tried one of these NVRs in their location and they allowed us to demonstrate the same thing in our webinar. So we're talking about a new CASE NVR 2025 version. And then as you can see, we're dealing with 23 cameras on that one. If you're already one of Anabon Security's customers, you can find out that there is a little bit of change that we have on the interface of the NVR itself, but let's just dive into the AI analytic feature that we have, the recent one. I'll go ahead with AI. I'll find human body retrieval, and that's the place that I can search the playback based on all those attributes. Suppose that we're talking about camera number 7 as an example. That's a PDZ that I have zoomed in at the front door of that plaza. Go ahead and confirm it. Let's say that we want to have some playback from 11 to 12 November. I'll go ahead and search for it. In a matter of a second, you will have a list of all the objects or human beings. Once I select one of them, it will let me know that, all right, we're talking about a middle-aged guy, no glasses, no mask, wearing a hat, no backpack. They're wearing long sleeves, blue shirt or jacket in this case, and then that's it. I can double click on the image and that will show me a more detailed perspective of the object. Aside from that, I do have the video, which I can go ahead and find like 10 seconds, short clip of what exactly happened, right? Now, this is only one camera, one day we're talking about. How much is the NVR going to be capable? Since we are storing those metadatas, we're not limited. I will select all the cameras this time, and I'll tell it that not only I'm looking for all the objects, but I want them to be wearing a red shirt, and I want them to have a hat on. Let's see what happens. Search, 1 second, boom, we have it. All objects wearing green shirt or green jacket, like the upper part is should be, I'm sorry, red. Having some problems with the color today. So we can see them here. Again, you can double click to have a more detailed image about it. And then as you can see, it's a male, they're wearing a hat, the color is red, they're wearing long sleeve. Based on all of those, you can search. So you have a date and you have some information about the person you're looking for. In a second, you can find them out with this AI on playback technology. It doesn't end up there. We do even have that playback smart capability when it comes to the playback itself. Let's go with, again, the same camera here. So as you can see, we're having it in two different colors, blue for continuous recording and red for the parts that we're having some motion, as we discussed before. So if I want to find out something in the same exact day, oh, I will have a lot of files to browse in between, but I can minimize it and customize it based on what I'm looking for, what I'm exactly looking for. Let's play it right there. All right, now I will tell it that I'm looking for people and cars. Oh, it's making it less. Now I will tell it that only people, even less. Now I will pause it right there and I will tell it that this specific area that I have on the left-hand side is the part that I want you to focus on. Basically, you're setting up the AI rule on the playback itself in action. So I'll select it right there. I hit the search button, and that will limit it to only whenever there is a human being passing by inside that area. And as you can see, it's a complicated scene when we're talking about motion detection because it's already snowing. So those, I mean, when we're talking about snowy weather, rainy weather, it's already considered as motion for the camera, and this is only based on behavior. Now, if I fast forward it, you can see that it will show me only the parts that we have a human being passing that purple area. There we go, that's the next one. Now let's talk about another camera. This is one of the cameras that we have installed in our backside, our own headquarters, Toronto, Canada. So basically, this is a complicated scene we had a few days back, and as you can see, because of snowy weather, everything is motion. Like it's like we're recording 24/7, no difference. Whenever something is going on, you have a hard time browsing the timeline, finding the exact incident because we're talking about hours worth of recording. Imagine in an 80 channel NVR that you have that you loaded up with full amount of hard drive. We're talking about 80 cameras, 1 month of recording, and I don't know, like when something's happening, you have to put your whole life into it to find it out if you don't have any smart features when it comes to the playback. But let's see here. Again, I'm going to filter it. Say that I'm looking for people cars. All right, we have some bars right now. I want to filter it to people only, less bars. I want to filter it to specific places. So I do have tripwire or perimeter. For instance, let's select this part. and then go ahead and search for it. Oops. Only 2 or 3 different timestamps we're talking about that somebody's passing that specific area. This is something that we have on the latest CASE NVRs. Now, you might have the question asking that, all right, is this something that the camera is supporting? Is this something that the NVR is doing? Is it something that we can have based on a firmware upgrade? This is something physical. The NVR itself is coming with a second processor processing the image at the time of recording in order to collect metadata for you. At the same time, we're talking about all the older cameras being able to support this feature because the NVR is just grabbing the image of the camera and it's analyzing it at the time of record, but not at the time of search to save more of your time. Even you can go with third-party on-with cameras because you're just grabbing the image of the camera, and NVR in this case is doing the AI analytics for you. It doesn't end up with the features that you have on the playback. Like on these AI NVRs, we do have some more AI capabilities. When it comes to configure the AI on the camera, unlike the older NVRs we had, right now you do have NVR intelligence and IPC intelligence, meaning that if your camera is the brain, leave it that way. But if you want the NVR to analyze the image, you can select it from the right-hand side, and in that way, the NVR is going to be capable to analyze the image for you. That again includes all the AI capabilities that we have, which would be setting up 8 rules to work at the same time, make it sensitive to people, cars, or both, and different types. We're talking a single line crossing in an area, object abandoned, missing object, you name it, we have it. Face capture and face recognition is also something we have. I don't think we have face recognition set up on this one because of security. We cannot share those information, but I think we do have the face capture. Let me show you a little bit of that one. So we do have face libraries. That's for face recognition. We can create 21 libraries, 100,000 faces altogether, like known staff, unknown staff, people that you want there, people that you don't want them around. And then based on each of the libraries, you can configure the face recognition camera or face detection. On some of the cameras, I do have the face detection enabled on the NVR itself. So imagine the camera this time is not doing anything. It's the NVR doing the face capture using the image of the camera. Once I go with facial search, I can select the cameras that I have, same camera, number 7 as an example, then go with 11 to 12 November. That's my date here, all the faces. Again, let's select all the cameras. I think on 3 or 4 of the cameras, I do have face capture enabled. And instead of one day, right now, let's go for a full month of recording. I mean, yeah, let's go to 20 November, 20 days pretty much. Search it, 1 second, you have all the faces. Channel 7, channel 11. What do we have here? Channel, most of them are the PDZ because it's zoomed out to the front door. But basically, you have all the faces here, which you can select. And again, the NVR is recognizing all the information automatically, saying that it's a young woman. So it's a female we're talking about. They have no mask, they have no beard, and the glasses, we weren't able to pick it up. See if we, with glasses, we have it on this one. They have glasses on. I'm not going to show the face here that much because of security, but yeah, we have different human beings passing. Now, that was about it. We don't want to keep it that crazy. It was just for you to know the new AI capability that we have on the NVRs. This one is there because of the feedback of all the customers that we have. We do care about the feedback of our partners across North American region. They mentioned that when it comes to the playback, we can find out that you do have some other competitors that on the VMS end or on the cloud solution end, they do provide smart search. So there we go. We have it on the NVR, and we're going to have them soon in the warehouse. Let me go with the file again here. So we'll end up with the Q&A section. Please ask any of questions that you might think of about these AI recorders or the AI capability that we talked about in general, and I will be more than happy to answer it. Can we search for smokers? If you do have a thermal camera of ours, for sure you can. The only way that we can detect the tip of the cigarette would be using a thermal camera. You can make it sensitive to specific heat points on the image of the camera, and based on that, you can trigger a type of alert. So not only with the, I mean, not with the NVR alone, but using thermal cameras, that's doable. Any other questions? Can you search for different color cars? The object that you're searching for now on the NVR, we do have it on personal detection, so it's going to be on people detection. It will let you know that it's a vehicle passing by, but those attributes on the vehicle, we don't have it for now. We're working on it to cover it on the NVR. It's pretty much a new feature that we have out there. For now, it's limited to the cameras that they can. I'm sorry, it's limited to human beings. It will detect if it's a vehicle, but not all the specs about it. But on mild side that we provide, you do have the type of the vehicle, be it an SUV, sedan, or the make of the vehicle is a Toyota as an example. You do have the plate number, plate color, and vehicle color. Does the CSN440 NHC have this functionality? That's our 40 channel NVR on case lineup. That doesn't have this AI capability. You should go with N440 AI, which will have it in a week or so. This is pretty much decent. We have a couple of those in test just to make sure we're on the same page of what we want to have from the NVR, but in a week or two, we will have them covered in the warehouse. But when you take a look at the model number, you will find out that it ends up with an H AI or M AI. The H version is going to be having a lot of alarm ins and outs on the NVR itself, and then the M, the only difference is going to be no alarm ins and alarm outs as far as we have it on the models. I heard the NVR is limited to 8 cameras using AI. Can you elaborate on this one? It depends on the NVR we're talking about. For now, we do have it on 20 channel, 40 channel, and 80 channel NVRs. And if you do structure video, which is pretty much the same AI capability that I demonstrated, it's going to be 8 cameras at the same time, unless we upgrade it in future NVRs that we supply. Will this be an update for the existing NVRs? Unfortunately, this is not something software based. There should be another processor inside the NVR itself, so we have to swap up the NVR. You don't have to switch the cameras, you don't have to switch the software. Everything is the same, but the recorder is a different story. We have to swap it up. Same warranty, same warranty, same warranty. Same question, same answer. 6 years of warranty on all the case line. Yeah, for sure. And it's advanced replacement that we have on case. So imagine when you give us a call and we can verify that the NVR is dead, half dead, not working as you expected it to be, you will have the new unit. Then you can send us back the other unit whenever you have the time. It's like uh, the advanced replacement we have on those. Can we have the analytics on camera and NVR at the same time? You will choose it at the time of configuration. You can find out that I want to do the camera-based AI or I want to do the NVR-based AI because basically our strategy over the time was to have more reliability and accuracy. So before it was like having the AI capability on the camera itself, making sure that each of the cameras is going to work like a computer, having a GPU to process the image and not having all the information sending back to NVR to get analyzed. So we do have a lot of AI cameras that you can use, just like the thermal camera that we mentioned earlier. And right now you do have this AI NVR, which you can use in both cases, and AI or AI on playback. Both of those you will have it on the recorder. And this is something that you will choose at the time of configuration. Do we have any other questions we're talking about? Can we have all AIs at the same time? It depends. So it depends on we're talking about face recognition and different AIs at the same time, or those are separate. Like it's either all the AIs at the same time, it rules, or face camera. If it's the camera itself we're talking about. If it's the NVR, you can choose it, whichever way you prefer. But pretty much eight rules at the same time is something you can do, and each of them can be a different story. The first one can be an area sensitive to people. The second one can be something else. What's the cost difference generally? That's a question for sales, but I think it's not going to be that much of a huge difference we're talking about because we try to keep our warehouse updated. So any new technology we're talking about, first we test it out on our end, then we supply it in the warehouse so that our customers can use the new technology. For sure, it does have a little bit of difference, but I'm not sure about the exact numbers we're talking about on the technical side. Maybe Mr. Ali can put it in the chat. Which analytics can we run at the same time on a single camera? On a single camera, we can have eight rules at the same time. Those can be line crossing, double line crossing, area, and all of them, the ones that I'm mentioning, you can make it sensitive to people, cars, or both. Object abandon, missing object detection, loitering detection, parking detection. All of those you can do at the same time. Are we still using HDD or SSD on new NVRs? We don't supply NVRs with the HDD installed on them. You can try it on your end. We always recommend to go with surveillance series just to make sure you're on the safe side. Although we do supply the hard drive, but we don't install it inside the NVR. That's what I meant. So basically, if it's an HDD, you can go with the surveillance series. If it's an SSD, you can try it out. It works. It's going to be a little bit more costly. Thank you everybody for joining. If we do have any other questions, we do have 3 more minutes to cover it. If not, we can call it a day. It was so beautiful having everyone here, and I wish a great and wonderful rest of the day for all of you. Thank you for joining. Yep. Bye bye.